Hey, legend. Fraser Brooks here with the Network Marketing Ninja Podcast, episode 161. Could you believe it? In today's episode, you will have noticed that the audio quality is not so great. There's no video version of today's podcast. There's no intro. There's no outro because yesterday we had a flood. Now, living on the 47th floor, the last thing you would expect to have happen is a flood. Yet we had one. So I want to just share with you some of the things that helped me kind of get over it. It's a completely different episode than usual. Some of the things that have helped me kind of get through yesterday and today, because everything is a mess. And if I'm literally looking outside of the balcony right now, there's carpets, furniture, everything is full on the balcony. Everything's just an absolute mess. So I'm not able to use my studio, my office, because that's a mess and all the technical stuff's a mess. But if you haven't already done so, and you're listening to this before the 6th of October, Wednesday the 6th of October, 2021, then you literally have moments to claim your free ticket to the upcoming free 10-day challenge. This is my famous 10-day challenge. It's had so many breakthroughs over the years. In fact, the average person, over the years I've done this, the average person who completes the challenge gets 5 new paying customers and 1 new paying team member. Now, you might be thinking, well, is that a lot? Is that going to make a big difference? That's the results within the 10 days. A lot of people have also filled a huge pipeline, and we've seen, not that we can track it exactly, but we've seen about a double return. So from the effort in the 10 days, most people who complete the 10-day challenge, the average person gets 10 new customers and 2 new paying distributors. Think about it this way, though. Imagine if you have 5 people, 10 people, 20 people in your team do the same thing. 20 people, that's 100 new paying customers, 100 new paying customers and 20 new team members. Mad. Absolutely mad. Anyway, you can go to fraserbrooks.com/grow. That's GROW. fraserbrooks.com/grow. So FRAZERBROOKES.com, COM, /grow, GROW. All right, so episode 161, let's kind of get into this. So right now I'm pacing around my bedroom because it's the only room that doesn't really, no, there's things everywhere as well. There's rugs everywhere, mats everywhere, the bathroom's a mess, there's pipes all ripped up and everything. So basically what happened is, it was my brother's last full day yesterday. It's first time I've seen my brother in nearly 2 years. First time I've been out of the country without our parents ever. He brought his girlfriend over. Obviously, me and Svetlana are here, so he stayed with us for a week. It's been absolutely amazing. And he had his last full day yesterday, and we decided to take him to one of our favorite beach spots. It's called Coco Bay in Dubai. It's really awesome. You can Google it and go on the images or go on Instagram. It's a really cool place, Coco Bay, COCOBA. And just towards the end of the day, probably about an hour before we were going to leave, we get a call from one of the guys in the building, says, we need to get access to your building because people in the apartment below have said there's water coming from the ceilings. And we're thinking, that's weird, because we're actually quite cautious. We usually kind of look around the apartment and make sure that the oven's turned off and lights are switched off and there's no taps on. I don't know. It's just, living in an apartment block, maybe it's just the good thing to do. I don't know. So we do all that. So obviously we're at the beach and we're thinking, okay, so we kind of casually leave my brother and his girlfriend to kind of stay for another hour or so they can watch the sunset and start to see the buildings go from no lights to all the lights turned on. And we're just thinking nothing of it. Like, oh yeah, it's probably just the taps being left on and maybe it's come through one of the bottoms of the floor. Didn't really think much about it. Now, we opened the apartment door on the 47th floor, and we opened the door, and about 2 paces in, there is about an inch of water everywhere. So, fortunately, we'd been the beach, right? So, we were kind of in like flip-flops and all that sort of stuff. And we were just running around trying to find the leak. And the leak, there was water coming from up a pipe. In fact, I'm looking at it now and it's a little bit suspect still, to be fair. But there was just water coming out from the bathroom, and it's obviously gone all through the master bathroom, all through the master bedroom, into the hall, into the second bedroom, which is where my office is, all throughout the kitchen, all throughout the living room, all throughout the dining room, and then a little bit of the rest of the hall, and it missed two of the other bedrooms, or one bedroom and like a storage room, which we have a bed in. So it was a mess. Now, because we have a strong mindset, because I've obviously grown up into personal development, and I would like to think I've on my way to mastering mindset. I don't think you can ever master it fully, but I'm on my way to mastering mindset. And obviously Svetlana's lived with me for so many years. She's in the same process. I learned very quickly that we can either react or respond, right? And I think it's Bob Proctor has an amazing equation. It's event multiplied by reaction equals outcome. Now, we could have been like, oh, this is ridiculous, but we were like, right, number one, find the leak. Okay, we found the leak. Number two, let's kind of like stop the leak. Number three, let's kind of like, let's start trying to figure out how we're going to get rid of the water. Number four. So we just straight away got into massive action. We called the engineers. They came, they stopped the leak. We started to kind of use, I found like, those things, I don't know what they're technically called, but if you were to clean a window, you will wash it up, and then to get rid of like the water, you have like a scraper with like a rubber end on it. I found one of those, and we somehow ended up having 4 of those, and we were sweeping it. Now you might be thinking, hang on a minute, how the heck did you get rid of all that water? Literally about, okay, an inch is being generous. I would say about, wasn't far off, about 1.5 centimeters, about 15 millimeters of water are covering about, I reckon, 150 square meters. So if you do the maths, that's like 225 square meters of water, which I don't even know how many liters that is. For those people who know conversions, you'll be able to figure that one out. But you might be thinking, how the heck did you get rid of all that water on the 47th floor? Well, fortunately here, in almost every room, they have little drains. So they've got drains in the bathroom because they're all like wet rooms. So the drains goes all the way down to the bottom. They have them in the kitchen. And there's one as well somewhere randomly. I can't remember where it is. But so we were just, pushing the water into there, pushing the water into there, pushing the water into there. And we're like, you know what? We're getting there. About 5 minutes later, we just start bursting into laughter. And like, I don't know anyone else who would be laughing when you've got a leak and there's all this damage to the rugs. And we spend a lot of time in our living room, chilling out and watching the football and stuff. So we bought a really expensive rug, like a silk and wool rug. We absolutely love it. It took us weeks to find it, and it was just covered in water. We don't know if we're going to be able to save it. Sounds weird. I'm talking about saving a rug, but we don't know if we're going to be able to save it. But we just start laughing because Mando, our little Maltipoo, who's I think he's 6 and nearly 7 months now. He's just running around in the water. He's like jumping up and everywhere. He's having the time of his life. And it made me think, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it's water and I'm not fire. I'm grateful that I'm here and I've not left Svetlana on her own. Maybe I'm traveling to events and stuff. I'm grateful that we're not the floor below and the water's coming through the ceiling. I'm grateful that we have tiled floors. I'm grateful for the fact that it's a Sunday and not like a Monday where I'm like working and working and working. I'm grateful that it's just a few rugs that can be replaced and not, electrical stuff. I'm grateful for people who were helping. I'm grateful that I was able to find, 3 or 4 of these scrapers. I'm grateful that we stopped the leak when we did. I'm grateful that someone called us to say, hang on. I'm grateful that we were in the country. I'm grateful that we were 10-minute drive away. And I just found, I really believe that is one of the reasons why maybe I'm a little bit different to most people. And this is the lesson really in this story is I responded instead of reacted. We responded and we're like, nope, this is what's happened. We need to do this, and this. We kind of we started laughing about things because we realized very quickly that this is not going to be the end of the world. And I looked at all the things that I was grateful for. And I think it was that moment where Mando was just running around, kind of jumping up and down and, loving life, genuinely smiling as a dog, what made me thought like, you know what? Some people's hell is another person's or another thing's dream. You know, your idea of hell might be someone's idea of a dream. Your idea of, oh my God, my husband's just, made a disgusting, lasagna, and I'm going to have to eat it and, put a brave face on. Whereas there are people who would die for a disgusting lasagna because they wouldn't know any difference of what's disgusting and what's not. And as I'm literally stood here pacing up and down, there is 30 objects on the balcony, all of them destroyed. I don't even know why we're trying to dry them out. They're all destroyed. Mando's toys, boxes, pillows, God knows why there's pillows getting dried out. Rugs, furniture, sofas, poofs, whatever, I think they call them. Duvet covers, literally, the bottom of the curtains are soaking wet. Everything's just a mess. But I've got a story to tell. And one of my favourite quotes of all time is, if it doesn't matter in 5 minutes from now, if it doesn't matter, I love it that much, I've forgotten it. If it doesn't matter 5 years from now, don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. So I didn't want to just go, we had a flood yesterday, I can't do the podcast today. We had a flood yesterday, I'm not going to be able to do this today. Instead, I've just thought, you know what, I'm going to come on, do the podcast and just share the story of what happened. Because a lot of you guys have messaged me because you saw it on my Instagram stories, the whole flooding situation. So again, when something happens to you in your life, that is the event. After the event comes the reaction. How you react will determine the outcome. So you have a bump in the car. That's the event. You react, you're angry, you're upset, you're annoyed, you get out your car about to want to have a fight with the person who you bumped into, or they bumped into you, and then obviously the outcome is going to be negative. It's going to be, right? Event multiplied by reaction equals the outcome. Never forget it. So yes, I'm walking around, and although the floor looks dry, my feet are soaking wet, so we've got sweaty tiles by the sounds of things. But again, we're not going to be doing any subscriber of the week this week. I haven't even got my computer nearby. I don't even know if I can power it on because all the cables are on the floor and I don't really fancy turning them on right now. But yeah, I just want to say, hey, I'm grateful for all this, but I'm also grateful for you guys. So many of you, when I posted the story on it, have just messaged me saying, hey, you should do this with the rug, or I'm grateful that it's just water and it's not fire, and so many of you guys really was great. And you know what? It's been a great test out there, because a lot of people have been like, oh no, poor thing, what a nightmare. Oh no, that's a shame. But a lot of people were then like, yeah, but it could be worse. And it's just fun. It's just fun to see the difference in reactions of other people for you as well. So, guys, I appreciate you. Big love. I thought Liverpool were going to win and beat Man City to give me kind of some good news, but we drew, which, hey, better than losing, right? I appreciate you guys. Big love. Look forward to seeing you on episode 162, where we'll be back with the valuable lessons. All right, appreciate you guys.